Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Max, and today we are going to be talking about Warner Brothers, HBO Max, and how they plan on releasing movies in 2021. Alright, so the news broke a few hours ago. I believe it was initially by Variety, but I could be wrong on that Warner Brothers and HBO Max are going to be releasing all of their movies that would normally be just theatrical releases and then would eventually go to streaming sites and, DVD and places like that they're going to be releasing these films as theatrical releases as well as HBO Max streaming releases. This is huge because there are a ton of big title movies that are expected to do pretty well and draw in a big crowd of fans who will watch the films. They are expected to release as streaming and in theaters. First thing that came to mind is I believe this will hurt theaters a lot because, depending on what's going on with the pandemic, whether things are kind of getting back to normal or if cases are still surging, there's going to be a lot of people, I believe, who will want to watch a film in the comfort of their own home on their own TV. They don't have to go anywhere. They can pay, the $15 HBO Max fee and get so much more content than you could get for a movie ticket, which will cost, we'll say, an average of $12 to $15 per person. And this is also a big benefit for families who can pay that one price for HBO Max and get a plethora of movies that they can watch. They can save money. They can have family time. And I think that's going to impact theaters in a negative way. But I think for the consumer as a whole, it will help them a lot. And I believe it will help HBO Max gain subscribers as well. As far as which movies will be released on HBO Max and in theaters at the same time, the list we have right now includes The Matrix 4, Dune, and The Suicide Squad. I would say those are the main releases that will get a lot of attention. I believe there's some adaptions of musicals that Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be doing as well, but I'm not quite sure how big of a crowd those are going to draw in as far as theatrical releases. But the big hitters here are the action movies, the comic book movies, because Suicide Squad, I believe that did about 800 million at the box office. So if you imagine maybe, even a quarter of those people getting the film, the rough reboot sequel film on HBO Max as opposed to going to the theaters, I do not think this will be good for theaters at all, but it is what it is. And I think as far as HBO Max goes, it'll be really interesting to see if their subscription count grows exponentially during these times, or is it going to show that HBO Max might not be as big of a giant as everybody thinks it is. We also have to remember that the Snyder Cut will most likely be coming out around the time of these films. And I know that's a big draw for people for as far as signing up for HBO Max. So with that incentive plus other films going on there, say someone wants to go and view these films that are coming out, these action fantasy films, they might pull in generally the same audience. And that would be a cost of, say it's one person watching all these films in theaters around, let's say, $60. Or for the entire month, they can get all the HBO Max content. They can get HBO original shows. They can get the entire DC Warner Brothers movie slate. I believe they will have rolled all of them out by then. And I think this will just be a really interesting thing to see what happens, because obviously if HBO Max gains a lot of subscriptions from this, I think it will hurt theaters forever going forward, because we know streaming sites like Netflix have already been releasing their own films, but the fact that there's these big budget films from these studios which usually only go for theatrical releases, and now they're going to be releasing these films on streaming, I think this will be a huge game changer, and it'll be very interesting to see where this takes the movie industry as a whole. I think this decision could further hurt the theater industry, because if the HBO Max rollout of these films goes well, then we're obviously going to see competitors such as Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, They are all more films are going to be wanting to have a streaming release if there is a positive outcome from Warner Brothers doing this on HBO Max. So we could see not only more companies going directly to streaming sites to release their films on there, but we could also see a rise in, say, for example, Disney live action remakes going to streaming services, or rather going to Disney Plus for streaming, and a theatrical release. And this could hurt the theater industry even more because now you have a bunch of different competing studios doing the same thing. That's about all I have for now. Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you like it, please like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.